Are you trying to figure out how to get things done? Are you trying to look for knowledge that can actually help you do something, be better at what you do? Hi, I'm Joyce Mbaya, founder of Zydii, where we provide affordable online courses for Africa. This is the place for you, the Zydii podcast, where we have inspiring conversations with amazing people. And the ultimate goal is to help you know more so you can do more.
Motivation is a process of moving people from mere compliance to commitment. People will always comply. A lot of people will not give their extra, potential to be able to do more than what they are required to do. But for them to be able to do it, then this is why we bring in motivation. We try to move them from mere compliance to commitment. And that is why it becomes a process. To motivate others, you must first be self-motivated. You cannot give what you don't have. It is just like a reservoir, full of water. Now, if this reservoir of water, the people downstream will get water. But if a reservoir is dry, then the people downstream will not get water. So, in motivation, we are reservoirs of motivation. We must first of all be motivated before we motivate others. And that's why we are saying that you can't give what you don't have. So now let us look at the process of motivation, because like we have said, motivation is a process. For you to be able to move people from mere compliance to commitment, you must take them through a process. The process of motivation involves identifying other people's behavior using the dimensional model of behavior. We've already gone through this model in our first module, and we now know how to identify people's behavior. So we're not going to spend time on this. All that we do is that we bring in that model to help us identify the behavior. Why are we identifying the behavior of others? It's simply because if we don't know who they are, then it will become very difficult for us to motivate them. Once we have identified their behavior, the next thing that we must do is to identify the needs that are associated with that behavior. Absolutely important, because different behaviors have different needs. And if you have got to motivate them, what motivates a Q1 is not what motivates a Q2. And that is why it is absolutely important to match the behaviors with the needs. Finally, we motivate them by meeting their needs and always answering this hidden question. That is, when you ask people to do something, there is always a hidden question that they ask: what is in it for you? What we refer to as WIIFM. They will always ask, Mr. Maya, you will ask me to do this. What is in it for me? And finally, when you meet their needs, then that is the way you answer that question and you get them committed, you get them motivated to do what you are asking them to do. Now let us look at each step, at a time. Like we have just said, identify the behavior, we use the dimensional model of behavior. How about identifying the needs associated with those behaviors? We again bring in a model referred to as the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. That's another important model that we bring in when we are motivating others. This model will help us identify the needs associated with the behaviors that we have categorized in our dimensional model. For us to be able to identify these needs, we need to look at this model in a bit of detail and see exactly what this model does. This model says that there are those needs that are right at the bottom. This model helps us understand the levels of the human needs. Now, this is a very important model because it is actually able to show us at different levels what the human needs are. And once you satisfy the lower needs, then the next needs in the hierarchy are the ones that will motivate people. Once you have satisfied those others, then you move to the next needs. The Maslow hierarchy of needs identifies the human needs right from the bottom, where we have the biological and the physiological needs, what we refer to as the human basic needs, which are the air, food, drink, shelter, warmth. Well, the next one, sex, is debatable. I don't want to spend time on that. That will be debatable, but the next one is sleep. At least those are the human basic needs, and they must be satisfied first before we move on to the next. Indeed, all the governments, in all the constitutions, the governments, it is the government, it is a requirement by every government to meet the basic needs of their people. And that is why, even in our Kenyan constitution, the basic needs, the government is supposed to satisfy our basic needs. Indeed, you can actually take the government to court if they are not able to satisfy your basic needs. Once the basic needs have been satisfied, then we move to safety needs, okay, or security needs. And these ones are protection, security, order, law, limits, and stability. Those are what we refer to as safety needs. Then we move to the next needs, which are belongingness and love needs, which are the social needs. In short, those are referred to as the social needs. Now, then from the social needs, then we go to the esteem needs. Note that both the basic needs and the esteem needs apply to all the behaviors, to everybody, because the esteem is what is called the human ego. So the esteem needs and the basic needs must be satisfied for all the behaviors. But then after that, we have what we call the self-actualization, which is the topmost need to be satisfied in this Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Now, once we have understood this model and we have understood the different levels of needs, then we pick up this model and then we marry it to the dimensional model so that we can see what are the basic needs of the different behaviors, the Q1s, the Q2s, the Q3s, and the Q4s. Now, at the bottom, we have the biological needs or the basic needs, and those ones are for all of us. Now, next to that is where we have the security needs. And these security needs, the behavior that relates to that need is the Q2. The Q2 basic need is the security need. Then from there, we move to the social needs or the belongingness needs. And we all know that the Q3 is the one who is really warm with the people. He's always looking for friendship. We move on to the social needs, and we already can guess which behavior relates very well with the social needs. And that one is the Q3. But then the Q3 also, on by the side, also has the security needs, because when they want to be very happy and then you interfere with their happiness, they feel a bit insecure, they feel a bit threatened. But since we are looking at the basic needs, their basic needs is the social need. Of course, you can also see that they have the esteem needs, just like everybody else. Then from there, we have what we call the independence needs, and the behavior that relates very well with that. The basic need is the Q1. But of course, you can also see that the Q1 has also the esteem needs. Then finally, we go to self-actualization needs. And we can all see that the Q4 behavior is the one which relates very well with the self-actualization needs. Okay? But also, the Q4 has also independent needs because they don't want to be micromanaged. They want to be left independent because they always know what they are doing. They are the ideal leaders that we are looking for. So that those are the the needs, associated with each by combining, which we arrive at by combining the Maslow's hierarchy of needs with the dimensional behavior model.
This week's episode has come to an end, but the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like and share, comment, get involved, let us know what you think, what you want to learn next, and join us next time.